You can feel it. A little chill in the morning air, briskness against your skin in the morning. The lawn isn't growing as fast as it used to. It crunches a little more under your feet. Leaves on the trees are starting to turn different shades of color, away from the bright greens. School's starting. Hear the school bus engines roar in the distance. Everything, it seems, is slowing down a little, except one thing. It's a staple of this time of year, always has been. Sounds of grunts and growls, a lot of pushing and shoving, and absolutely no holding. Hard workers preparing for a job. A lot to do, a lot to show, a lot to prove. Hard lines, hash marks, X's and O's, a lot of film, and just plain old hard work. And they can use these lessons throughout life. It's the season we've all been expecting it. Hello, I'm David Sullivan at Madison Southern High School. It's time for high school football. The John Clark Show is sponsored by Sign Source on South Keeneland Drive, Richmond, St. Joseph Berea Wound Center, St. Joseph Berea Hospital, Central Kentucky Surgery. Hello everybody, David Sullivan with John Clark for the John Clark Show here at Madison Southern High School. Thanks for joining us for the show this week. Coach, let's talk about where we're shooting the show this week. We're in the weight room here. I know that's an integral part of any kind of training for a football player.
It's where we started a few months ago, and it's where we're going to be right back after the season, putting work in again. We're going to wear these walls out here over the next couple years.
What is the status of your team when you took over here in terms of their work in a weight room?
Our average bench press when I took the job here on this team was 168 pounds. Was our average bench. Our average squat was 270 pounds.
What are you looking for in those two?
We'd like our average bench to be upwards of 230 to 250 across the board. Our average squat we'd like to see somewhere up in the high 300s.
How have the kids taken to the weight room?
Good. Our work ethic in here has really helped shape the attitude of the team. You'll notice when you watch us play, we don't quit throughout the game. Physically, there's a lot of things we aren't able to do yet, but mentally, our toughness is pretty good, and that's come from this room. In the process of a 4-month span, our average bench jumped up to 185, which was a really big jump for us in that time frame. And our average squat has gone up almost 85 pounds per person. So it's been a huge jump numbers-wise, and we've got a couple kids squatting in the 400s now, power cleaning in the 250 range, and benching upwards of 250 to 275. Not in the threes yet, but things are coming in the right direction. This next year will be a big year for our team.
We want to talk to you about the opening game. We're taping this prior to your second game or after the opening game against Bourbon County.
Yes,
sir. What can you say positive? What positive? It was a loss.
Sure.
But what positives did you see?
Well, there were a lot of good things that came out of this game. We knew going in that their back was pretty good, and we knew we might have some trouble stopping them. Special teams was an area we really wanted to show improvement. We had some breakdowns in special teams early on in our first 2 scrimmages. We were much better. Punt-wise, we were a lot more sound. Punted more than I wanted to, but we were more consistent with our punt game as well. We blocked the punt and then also had a kickoff return for a touchdown. So we were a lot more consistent. We kicked an extra point, and we were 3 for 3. So we were much better in special teams.
We'll be back. We'll talk more about that opening game.
right after this.
We'd like to thank our sponsors: Luxury Pets, the home of the happy dogs; the law firm of Luxon and Patterson; Riptide on the River Restaurant; Hopper's Jewelry; Jerry Goebel State Farm Insurance Richmond; Dr. Dan Sipples Chiropractic Healthcare; Central Bank; Williams Tax and Financial Services; Regal Beagle Downtown Richmond; ERA Professional Hometown Services; Hall & Sons Auto Care; Be a Children's Champion; Reynolds Plumbing; Skipworth Veterinary Clinic; Super Save; Sight Savers Family Eye Care; Mackenzie Morgan Music; Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection; First Gear in Richmond; Guardian Bank, home of the $250 deal. Listen to The John Clark Show on WWAG Radio, real country playing stars and legends.
Hello, I'm David Sullivan.
And I'm Tommy Floyd, Superintendent with Madison County Schools.
We'd like to introduce you to two new high school sports programs. Watch the new Madison Central High School Football Coaches Show with Bert Brown and the Madison Southern High School Football Show with John Clark.
The shows will air on Madison County Schools Channel 9, as well as Time Warner Cable Channel 5.
Get in-depth thoughts and comments from coaches and players throughout the season. So if you enjoy local high school sports and the value and character they build, join us.
Because every student counts.
This segment of The John Clark Show is brought to you by Waffle House.
Today's John Clark Show brought to you and sponsored in part by Sipples Chiropractic and by Luxury Pets. Coach, let's talk about the football game, the Bourbon County game. And I know you must have been shell-shocked because Bourbon County scored very quickly. I think had 3 touchdowns within 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. We knew going in their running back was pretty good. We thought they'd put some points on the board, and we thought it'd be hard to hold him under a lot of yards. I mean, I had a chance to watch them in a scrimmage earlier in the year. I think it was against Rockcastle and South Laurel. He had 2 touchdowns of 55 yards in his first 2 carries. I mean, he's been doing that on everybody they've played this year. I think he had 165 yards rushing against Middlesboro the week before. So he's going to have a very good year, no question. That being said, we still continue to, we need to get better tackling. We're in the right places a lot, and we're reaching for guys instead of tackling guys. It's a lack of experience. We just have a lot of guys that haven't been in these positions before. As we go, we'll get better. I think one thing that stood out to us is we did still improve as the game went on. And we could see that on film. First half, we gave up 40 points in the first half. Second half was 20. First half, we scored 7. Second half, we scored 14. So we saw ourselves improve as the game went on, and the film showed that as well. Part of it, too, is we started a young quarterback. I think he was pretty nervous going into the game. So I think he got some of the nerves out of the way as the game went on, settled down, and hit a few more throws as well.
You go into the second quarter, what were you thinking when you're down 3 touchdowns?
Well, when you get down in that situation, I just said to our coaches, we're going to keep doing what we do, and we're going to improve as the game goes on. Let's not let the kids, there's no need to get crazy right now. I mean, obviously, it's a long game. It can be frustrating as a coach to look up and see 40-7 at halftime, but that's something that you can't lose your head over. One thing we've emphasized this whole year is it's not about the scoreboard right now. It's about us improving what we're building, and we knew it wouldn't happen overnight. That being said, we expect to be more competitive than we were, and we will be.
What can you point to on your offense? Let's talk about the quarterback situation. You made a change going in.
Yes. We made a change. We moved Adam Simpson, who'd been playing quarterback, to wide receiver. We moved Devontae Linville, was a kid that moved in from Tennessee this summer. We moved him into quarterback. This decision was in 2 parts. One was Adam is a very good athlete, probably one of the better athletes on our football team, no question. Part of the reason of having Adam at quarterback was we were able to use his legs. When we got into games, we're realizing that he wasn't running as much as we had anticipated. Looking at the way defensive played in Kentucky, we felt like he would really bolster our wide receiver position. We were going to throw the ball a little bit more as we got going in our offense, and we wanted a bigger pass threat on the edge. Adam's a 4.6 40. He's got a 39-inch vertical, 12-foot broad jump. Great athlete. So having that threat on the edge with him and our other senior, Ethan Lake, who's a very good receiver as well, we felt like we had two dual threat receivers. And earlier in the year, we felt Devontae has shown some signs as a chance to be a pretty good quarterback. He's still young. He's a sophomore. Also, he started in the offense much later than Adam did. So we felt like it was going to be a while before he was ready to maybe take over that position. And we felt like now was a good time to make the change, given that if we wait a little longer, what's the point? I mean, we feel like if Adam's going to help our receiver position get better, and with Devontae, we didn't feel like we'd have a drop at quarterback, and eventually it will improve, then we felt now was the right time to do it.
All right, we'll be back. We've got more about Madison Southern football coming up.
We'd like to thank our sponsors: Luxury Pets, the home of the happy dogs; the law firm of Luxon and Patterson; Riptide on the River Restaurant; Hopper's Jewelry; Jerry Goebel State Farm Insurance Richmond; Dr. Dan Sipples Chiropractic Healthcare; Central Bank; Williams Tax and Financial Services; Regal Beagle Downtown Richmond; ERA Professional Hometown Services; Hall & Sons Auto Care; Be a Children's Champion; Reynolds Plumbing; Skipworth Veterinary Clinic; Super Save; Sight Savers Family Eye Care; Mackenzie Morgan Music; Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection; First Gear in Richmond; Guardian Bank, home of the $250 deal. Listen to the John Clark Show on WWAG Radio, real country playing stars and legends. The John Clark Show is sponsored by Sign Source on South Keeneland Drive, Richmond; St. Joseph Berea Wound Center; St. Joseph Berea Hospital; Central Kentucky Surgery.
David Sullivan, we continue now on the John Clark Show, brought to you in part by Luxon Patterson, by Luxury Pets, and Hopper's Jewelry. Coach, at the half you're down 40-7, I believe. It was a big deficit for you. What did you say in the locker room to the football team?
Good question. We split it up offense and defense. Obviously, we talked to the quarterbacks and the receivers. We missed some big plays in the pass game, and we reiterated that those were going to be there and we were going to come back to them. The other thing we talked about is defensively, we've just got to wrap up and tackle. I think the biggest thing for us, though, was part of our whole deal is the attitude of this program, getting it in the right direction. And there's no point of, when you're down 40-7, our focus in the second half was simple. We're not going to change who we are. We're going to carry ourselves like the score is 0-0. We're going to fight the second half. We're never going to quit playing. We're going to play hard. We're going to try to get better, and we're going to be more competitive. And we were. And that's something that I'm proud of our kids for, is this team will not give up. And as we get better, that habit we've developed of not giving up, as we start to get better as a team, we're going to find ourselves in some games in the fourth quarter that we may not have been in at halftime, but we'll get back into them, and then we're going to find it easier to be into games as the game goes on. All right, well, you went into the second half, third and fourth quarter. You had some positives that you can take out of that second half and some of the big plays. Just talk about those. Sure. I'm continued to be impressed by our running back, Cody Russell. Cody's a junior, and he's just running hard for us. I feel like at any time, if we put the ball in Cody's hands, we can get a first down if we need it. That being said, Cody's playing very well, playing very physical. We talked about it to the team this week, is the physical aspect that he brings to the football field needs to become something that all our players adapt. We're still, given that we are young, we're not as physical at the point of attack as we need to be on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. That's something we're still learning. I thought we were a little better in the second half. That's something we're challenging our kids to do this week, though. But Cody had a couple big runs. I think he had 6 carries for 88 yards, so he turned out a nice average on his run game. And we started to hit some passes in the second half that we missed early on. Not perfect, but still our passing game is there. We just got to get the timing of it down.
Did you see any improvement on the defensive side in the way they addressed themselves?
We did. We started to get around the ball a little bit more. I noticed that we were running through tackles a little bit better, which definitely made a difference. I mean, we still have a lot of growing up to do with just young guys on the field. But there was an improvement on both sides of the ball.
You say the young guys, and I know you have a lot of starters who did not play football last year.
You know, it's funny, at any given time, depending on who we start, the type of defense or the set on offense, we can have anywhere from 7 to 8 guys on the field starting for us that have not played football in over a year. It means they did not play last year or if ever. So you can even have seniors that are still young guys, and that's kind of where we are right now.
All right, we'll be back with more with John Clark in just a minute. Right now, let's take a look at this week's Student Athlete Showcase.
My name's Katie Scott.
What position do you play?
I'm a keeper.
All right, what does a keeper do?
A keeper stops the ball from going in the goal most of the time.
How long have you been playing?
Soccer since I was 7 for the team since sophomore year.
Okay. What kind of team, what kind of season you all having?
Having a pretty good season so far. Had its ups and downs, but we're doing good.
All right, what do you plan on doing after high school?
After high school, hopefully Yale, and I'll be a diplomat where I can pretty much travel the world on.
My name's Rachel Wallace.
What position do you play?
I play sweeper.
And what does a sweeper do?
The sweeper keeps the defense in line and keeps the ball out of the back.
Okay, what kind of season are you all having?
I feel like we're having a pretty good season. We've accomplished a lot of our goals. It's had its ups and downs, but I feel like we're going to have a strong season and hopefully win districts again.
Okay, well, what kind of plans do you have after high school?
I hope to attend UK and major in pediatrics.
What's your name?
My name is Coda Gad.
All right, what position?
Center mid.
And what does that position do?
Center mid is the playmaker for everything.
Okay. What kind of season do you think you all are having?
Pretty good one so far, but we can do better, I guess.
What kind of plans do you have after high school?
I plan to play soccer in college and then become a pharmacist and move to California.
My name's Paige Van Zant.
All right, what position?
I play keeper.
And what does keeper do?
A keeper keeps the balls out of the goal. We are the primary defense for the goal.
Okay. How long have you been playing?
I've been playing since I was in kindergarten, so since I was about 6.
What do you like about playing soccer?
I love the feeling when we're out on the field and we're playing a game. Practice so much isn't all that fun, but it's all worth it once you're out on the game and you have that adrenaline going. And it's fun.
What kind of plans do you have after high school?
I plan to attend UK, and I want to major in business.
I'm Lindsay Farmer.
All right, what position?
I am stopper.
And what does that do?
Stopper is your last offender and your first defender.
All right, how long have you been playing?
I've been playing since I was 13.
What do you like about playing soccer?
The rush, definitely the rush that you get when you're out on the field. And working together, using one object and moving it all over the field as a big unit.
All right, what kind of plans do you have after high school?
After high school, I want to attend UK, major in sports medicine, and become an athletic trainer for the high school.
My name's Taylor Mitchell.
What position?
I play outside mid.
And what does that do?
I'm basically an offense and a defense.
All right, how long have you been playing?
Since I was 4 years old.
What kind of team do you think you are having?
I think that we have a great team this year, and I think that we really bonded, unlike previous years, and I think that we're going to be a really strong team.
What kind of plans do you have after high school?
After high school, I want to go to UK and eventually go to medical school and become an anesthesiologist.
We'd like to thank our sponsors: Luxury Pets, the home of the happy dogs; the law firm of Luxon and Patterson; Riptide on the River Restaurant; Hopper's Jewelry; Jerry Goebel State Farm Insurance Richmond; Dr. Dan Sipples Chiropractic Healthcare; Central Bank; Williams Tax and Financial Services; Regal Beagle Downtown Richmond; ERA Professional Hometown Services; Hall & Sons Auto Care; Be a Children's Champion; Reynolds Plumbing; Skipworth Veterinary Clinic; Super Save; Sight Savers Family Eye Care; Mackenzie Morgan Music; Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection; First Gear in Richmond; Guardian Bank, home of the $250 deal. Listen to The John Clark Show on WWAG Radio, real country playing stars and legends.
Thanks again to our sponsors, Luxury Pets and State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goebel in Richmond. Coach, you come out of the Bourbon County game. I know you take the kids back into a week of practice this week. Where was your focus with them? What did you have them working on? How did they respond?
Well, to start off, when you lose a game like this, you know, our kids have worked really hard. They had high expectations coming in the first game. I don't know if everybody expected to win the first game, but nobody expected to get beat the way we were beaten. What I was very impressed with was Saturday morning we come in for film, 9 a.m. At 8:45, everybody's here. They're there, they're ready to learn. Quit is not in the vocabulary of this group. I've just been very impressed with the dynamic. Their whole thing this week is being relentless has been our virtue of the week. To be relentless of when things get tough is when you have to push harder towards your goal. And our focus this week has been great. There's a lot of kids sick in school right now. You know, you get all the kids back in the building and it just stirs up all these germs. There's a lot of kids sick this week. We have a lot of kids fighting through that. And I've been very impressed with the work ethic this week. Now, as far as things to work on, something that we've started with our kids is we do a goal of the week every week. We do 3 goals. We're teaching them about goal setting. We do a goal that's football specific. We do a goal that is academic and a goal that is for their personal life. They write these down on a sheet of paper, they sign it. What this is we teach them their goals need to be something tangible, something that you can physically measure, not just that I want to be a better football player this week, that I'm going to have a better reach step on a certain play, or that I'm going to keep my shoulders square in pass protection. Personal, that I'm going to, or for academic, that I'm going to turn in all assignments this week, that I'm not going to fall asleep in my history class. And then personal are things like I'm going to talk to my grandpa one more time this week. I'm going to tell my mom I love her this week. So some things that we're building on every week, specific goals that as they improve, the kids will improve as well. And they're doing a really good job of staying focused on those goals.
So it's more than just football that you're doing.
Oh, no question. I mean, our kids learned about adversity this week. We had a huge lesson about you get knocked down. Now, we know how it is. There's not been a tradition of winning here. When you get beat pretty good, people all of a sudden want to say, oh, it's the same old football team. But it's not. And our kids know it's not. It's a different attitude. It's a different dynamic. And once the kids get the reps and the time in the weight room, it's going to show more on the football field.
Let's take a look and meet some of these players.
Aaron Civil, linebacker. Alex Lane, running back, cornerback. Andrew Silver, defensive end. Andrew DeVere, linebacker.
Bartolo Ramirez, defensive end.
Brandon Reynolds, offensive line.
Cody Harrison, tailback, safety.
Casey Allen, wide receiver.
We'd like to thank our sponsors: Luxury Pets, the home of the happy dogs; the law firm of Luxon and Patterson; Riptide on the River Restaurant; Hopper's Jewelry; Jerry Goebel State Farm Insurance Richmond, Dr. Dan Sipples Chiropractic Healthcare, Central Bank, Williams Tax and Financial Services, Regal Beagle Downtown Richmond, ERA Professional Hometown Services, Hall & Sons Auto Care, Berea Children's Champion, Reynolds Plumbing, Skipworth Veterinary Clinic, Super Save, Sight Savers Family Eye Care, Mackenzie Morgan Music, Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection, First Gear in Richmond, Guardian Bank, home of the $250 deal. Listen to The John Clark Show on WWAG Radio, real country playing stars and legends.
Hello, I'm David Sullivan.
And I'm John Clark, head coach of the Madison Southern Eagles.
Join us right here for The John Clark Show throughout the football season.
Thanks again to a couple of our sponsors, Sipples Chiropractic and Luxury Pets, here on the John Clark Show from Madison Southern. We're in the weight room. We've talked about your football game against Bourbon County. Let's look, and you got Len Camp. We're kind of in between after that game. The schedule you've got coming up, how do you see it stacking up?
Well, I know we're in a different district than they were last year. I was aware of some of the opponents from last year, but our schedule is not quite the slouch schedule I think a lot of people think it was. We're going to have Wayne coming up, Wayne County, and then we have Powell County. I think Powell's quarterback threw for 304 yards and 3 touchdowns recently. Southwestern will be our first district game. Southwestern came out and lost a tough game to Boone County, who's a pretty good football team right now. And then they lost again recently to another really good football team. So they're playing some tough opponents, and they're in the games. So we know we've got a few tough games coming up here, no question.
When you look back at the Bourbon County game, which didn't go the way you wanted it to, I thought it was interesting how your fans were here. They stayed with it. They were very enthusiastic. It was.
I've been super proud of our community, and our school has really rallied around our kids. I think everybody understands. I think the community gets it. And, a fear you have as a new coach is, I know this is a rebuild, and you still hope that there's the fan support. I think our fans understand that as well. There's no question we're in the right direction, and I loved the fan support. They were here. There were a lot of people here again this week. They stayed for the game. People didn't leave at halftime, and that's awesome. And if we can continue that support, I can assure you that we'll get better as a team, and the show will get better every week. And it's just an awesome atmosphere on Friday night here. It was really great.
Thank you, and good luck all the way around.
Thank you.
I'm David Sullivan with John Clark. We thank you for being with us. We want to thank the Madison County Schools for their support in getting this program put together, and also to Time Warner Cable. And you can watch the show on the Madison County School channel. That's Channel 9, and Time Warner Cable on Channel 5. Thank you for being with us. I'm David Sullivan, and we'll see you here next time.
The John Clark Show is sponsored by Sign Source on South Keeneland Drive, Richmond, St. Joseph Berea Wound Center, St. Joseph Berea Hospital, Central Kentucky Surgery. We'd like to thank our sponsors: Luxury Pets, the home of the happy dogs, the law firm of Luxon and Patterson, Riptide on the River Restaurant, Hopper's Jewelry, Jerry Goebel State Farm Insurance Richmond, Dr. Dan Sipples Chiropractic Healthcare, Central Bank, Williams Tax and Financial Services, Regal Beagle Downtown Richmond, ERA Professional Hometown Services, Hall & Sons Auto Care, Berea Children's Champion, Reynolds Plumbing, Skipworth Veterinary Clinic, Super Save, Sight Savers Family Eye Care, Mackenzie Morgan Music, Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection, First Gear in Richmond, Guardian Bank, home of the $250 deal. Listen to The John Clark Show on WWAG Radio, real country playing stars and legends.
I'm John Clark, head football coach at Madison Southern High School, and I encourage you to check out our show on MadisonSouthernFootball.com.
Watch The John Clark Show on YouTube, Facebook, RosenbaumCommunications.com, and MadisonSouthernFootball.com. The John Clark Show is the property of Rosenbalm Communications, and distribution and recordings by any means is prohibited. To order quality copies of the program, please visit RosenbaumCommunications.com for information.